This week, we talk about the epic battle that was decades in the making that took place on the season finale of Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord. We talk about that really good finale of Daredevil Born Again Season 2 and what's gonna take place in the world of the blind lawyer from Hell's Kitchen. We also talk about what might happen to bring the Defenders back together in the MCU and a whole lot more. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger!
That's the emergency alert.
This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And this week we are back. We're back into news mode. We're going to talk about all the latest things happening out there in the pop culture universe. But before we jump into any of that, Taylor, what have you been nerding out about this week, man?
This week, besides the Daredevil finale, which we'll get to, I watched WWE's PLE event. Backlash was Saturday night. And it's the first PLE after WrestleMania. So it's the backlash from everything that happens at WrestleMania, basically. Basically, we're rolling out and either finishing or starting storylines that we're going to roll for a little bit. And it was great. One of the better PLEs I've seen in a little bit. And yeah, great fights, great night. I had a lot of good snacks. I had a friend come over. That was cool. Yeah.
I am nerding out about some movies. The past year, I've been trying more to show my kids movies that myself or my wife liked when we were younger. Something got us talking about the Men in Black movies, and my boys were like, "Oh, that sounds cool." So, as a family, this past weekend, we sat down and watched Men in Black 1 on Saturday and Men in Black 2 on Sunday. My kids freaking loved them, and I've forgotten how funny parts of those movies were. Anyway, that was super enjoyable, and we're gonna watch the next two, which are probably the least favorites of the franchise for most people, but I actually really liked the third one. If you can kinda remember the one where there's some time travel involved and Will Smith has
Oh,
to.
yeah. I
Yeah,
have famously fell asleep in the theater to that movie. I
I
had
think I
been,
remember you telling that story.
but it's one of those, I had been working doubles for, I think it was 2 weeks straight, something crazy like that.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, without days off. And it was one of my first days off. I sat down and it was a 10 o'clock movie. Sat down, just lights out.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
so funny.
one of the most expensive naps I've ever taken in my life.
Right? But that one wasn't critically the best, but I actually really enjoy it because, well, first of all, I'm a sucker for time travel. The casting was so spot on for younger versions of these characters. But yeah, I enjoy that. This coming weekend, we're going to watch part 3. And then part 4 is the weird one called Men in Black International, where it does not follow our typical characters. It follows Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson. That is funny that they paired those guys up in multiple movies around the same time frame. But yeah, so this coming weekend we'll watch the next two, and it's funny whenever you start doing stuff, it shows up in your algorithm. I think there's something trending that a new Men in Black movie might be in the works. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm nerding out about. Those were fun, and it's just been fun watching my kids find them funny.
I love
If
that
there's
first one.
Man, me too. I love at the end when the cockroach bad guy is about to fly away back to space, and he starts stomping on the little cockroaches, and
Mhm.
when he says, "Don't start nothing," and he stomps on one, he's like, "Won't be nothing," and he stomps on another one. When I was in high school, we said that phrase all the time, I feel like, just from that movie. But yeah, super fun, and I'm excited to watch the next 2.
That's awesome.
Well, let's see. As you guys who listen know, sometimes things get a little spoilery. And this episode, we got a few instances of some spoilers coming your way. So this is your warning moment. And we're going to switch it up a little bit. Let's talk about some Star Wars first this week. So, all those sequel movies, we know we followed Finn and Poe Dameron and Rey and all these characters. We haven't seen those characters in a little while. We've had lots of Star Wars, but we haven't seen those characters. But they just announced this week that John Boyega, who played Finn, aka Trooper FN2187, he is going to be coming back for a Star Wars movie. So I guess that means we are gonna finally see some more stuff happening in that era. And don't get me wrong, I'm actually very much loving them creating all these stories that fill in gaps of stuff from the eras we've already seen. But I feel like we haven't seen this future era in some time. So I am actually kind of interested to see more of that unfold.
Yeah, I just want to see more of what's going on around maybe the First Order and to see what's left of it and how it's, what it's becoming and whatnot.
Yeah, with Snoke dead and the Emperor actually finally dead, what's that gonna look like? You're right, for the First Order.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's even that at all, or is like who's the new big bad, I guess,
Yeah.
once that's destroyed.
There's always someone that wants to fill that void, so we'll see who that is in that universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
For folks waiting on that Star Wars Starfighter movie, it just wrapped filming this past weekend. So that's finished. They got to, edit it and put it out there. It's coming really soon. That's the one with Ryan Gosling as the star.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting to see what they do there. For fans of the Star Wars video games, the one that features Cal Kestis, there's actually a third one officially in production right now. So, Star Wars fans, you got yet another game coming your way.
I need to replay those.
Yeah, I've never played any of them. They seem so fun. Those plus the Force
Unleashed.
Unleashed. Yeah, that's right. I've never played Force Unleashed and I've never played the Starfighter games.
I've never finished The Force Unleashed I've never finished either of them, but
They
I've
just look fun.
started both. I've played both, and they are fun.
Okay, for me, the big Star Wars news this week, again, so spoilery for fans of the Maul Shadow Lord series that just came out. The time frame on this thing is obviously it's after Star Wars The Clone Wars and before Star Wars Rebels because for, folks who watched those shows, we saw some stuff that Maul was doing, and then in Rebels, we see Maul's actual death. So it would make sense that this takes place between those two shows. But if we remember from the Solo movie, at the very, very end, the post-credit scene, we see they've been talking about Crimson Dawn this whole movie. And then we see at the very end, Darth Maul is the guy. He's the guy in charge of Crimson Dawn. And it's like, what? That makes no sense. Oh my gosh. People are freaking out. Well, the animated stuff fills in the gaps of how he's still alive. And this new Maul series that's just had its finale right now, is leading the way to him rising up as the leader of Crimson Dawn. But here comes the big spoilery part. So, folks who don't want to know spoilers, you can push pause and come back after you finish that show. But something that fans have wanted to see for a long time in this series, there's a couple of Jedi who I guess evaded the purge of Order 66. They've been in hiding. They're new characters. We've never seen them before. It's a young girl and her master. Anyway, they're on this planet, the same planet that Maul winds up being on. And they're both, for very different reasons, just evading the Empire. The Jedi characters don't want to be purged, obviously, and Maul doesn't want to be caught by them, but he's also plotting revenge against them because he hates the Empire just as much as all the Jedi or whatever. And anyway, long story short, the two, I guess you could say, good guys of the Maul series, along with a cop and his son, who are also some good guys, and then Maul and his crew wind up having to. It's basically one of those let's work together for a common enemy thing because they all hate the Empire. And they're fighting these Inquisitors, they're fighting stormtroopers, and all of a sudden they're in this foggy area with like a wooded area. And you hear this girl who's part of Maul's team like scream, and her body's shoom, flung. And then all of a sudden you hear the like you hear the sound and you're like, oh my gosh. And then yes, on the finale, it's Darth Maul versus Darth Vader, and it was freaking amazing.
That's
um
cool.
it was so cool. And obviously, Darth Vader, that's Anakin. Anakin knows who Darth Maul is, but Darth Maul has no idea who Darth Vader is. So it'll be interesting to see the show ends with everyone escaping. and it's gonna have a season 2 eventually next year. So, anyway, long story short, fans got to see Maul and Vader all out brawl, and it was so cool. And,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it ends with him going to the Crimson Dawn people, and I have a theory of what's gonna happen. He's probably gonna double cross them and become their leader and blah, 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 but we won't know any of that until next season. But, yeah, that final episode made the whole show worth it for me. Well, let's see. DC had some news this week as well for fans who are ultra anticipating the next Superman movie. Obviously, we get Supergirl this summer, and next summer we get the Superman movie. They keep talking about all these casting announcements and all this stuff. One interesting announcement was that Matthew Lillard was cast as something in the new Superman movie. It did not say who or what, but he's going to be in it. So that's pretty cool.
But I wonder who he'll be.
All the fans, if you look at social media comments and stuff, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, he needs to be Plastic Man."
Oh, that would be crazy. Complete CGI though.
Right? But I can kind of see it. I could see him pulling off Plastic Man.
Yeah, I could see it easily.
And then obviously, again, like I said earlier, Supergirl comes out next month. We're almost there. Some leaked images just came out of Millie Alcock on the set of Man of Tomorrow. So Supergirl's going to be in the movie, which that's no shocker, but it's just cool to see all this continuity happening in James Gunn's movies.
Yeah, cool.
Here's another interesting one. DC Studios just announced that a Deathstroke and Bane movie is in the works.
What?
Yeah, a Deathstroke and Bane movie.
Yeah. What?
Right. He's taking all the toys and he's playing with them in the same
Yeah.
sandbox.
Yeah, I mean, cool, but I don't understand why those characters would interact enough to be in a movie together, unless it's one against another.
Yeah. The final thing with DC this week is they released the first images from the Batman 2, and it's Robert Pattinson. He's wearing some nice looking dress clothes, and it's in the wintertime. And they did confirm that this movie takes place in the wintertime, kind of like Batman Returns did. But
Mm.
yeah, the pictures don't really give anything away, but we get to see him as Bruce. And, I thoroughly enjoyed that first movie, so I'm kind of excited to see this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm not clamoring for it though, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
I want it to come out, but I liked the first movie. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, they'll be like, no, it was so good. It was like, it was good. It was. But I want more Batman in my Batman.
Yeah, and I think this sequel is gonna be that because I remember they announced it would be different storyline, but very similar in tone to the Batman Year One comics, and it's just gonna be cool to see more Batman in the next one.
Yeah, and the whole grounded Batman thing as well. I'm kind of over it. Like
Right?
I want James Gunn's version of Batman because I know it's going to be bombastic and
So comic booky,
yeah, I'm kind of over the whole let's make our comic books more grounded in reality kind of thing.
right?
I would rather just do
I
what
want it
Marvel.
fake.
Yeah, well, the thing is that this is what I've said for a long time is Marvel did it and they made the most money. You know what I mean? If you want to look at it that way, like by dollar signs.
Yeah,
And they have a talking raccoon and a guy in an American flag suit and mutants and gods and all these things are all together and it's like insane looking. And on paper, it shouldn't work, but it does. And so we got close with the Ben Affleck Batman, I thought,
yeah,
closer to that direction, but it's cool. Don't get me wrong. The movie's good. It's cool. I get it. I understand why people like it. I just want something different.
yep. No, I completely agree. I'm okay with my comic book movies being comic booky.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's see here. Over with Marvel, obviously, we've got some stuff about Spider Man and Doomsday again. So we know that Doomsday is going to pull in a lot of folks that we've seen throughout the years, even dating way back to the Fox stuff. It was kind of recently confirmed that we will see Tobey Maguire Spider Man. It didn't say how long or how brief or whatever, but we're going to see him. And actually, an image of him in his suit for the movie Doomsday showed up and it actually looks really cool. It's very updated. It kind of reminds me of one of the video game ones. But if you're interested, go Google it. Tobey Maguire Doomsday outfit. It looks great. Also with Spider-Man, something they confirmed is that when this new Brand New Day movie comes out, that we're gonna learn a little bit about Uncle Ben's death, and they actually confirm that in this MCU version, Peter was not responsible for Uncle Ben's death. There wasn't that whole, "I ignored the bad guy, and then the bad guy killed my uncle." It's gonna sound like that didn't happen in the MCU, so that's kinda interesting.
That's stupid.
Because their version, he gets all that from Aunt May dying, I guess, is what they're going with.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's see. Daredevil Born Again, freaking amazing. So again, spoilers. We're gonna talk a little bit about it, but we both have seen it. How'd you feel about it, man? How'd you feel about the ending there?
I would have given it probably a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it was super good. Those fights were crazy.
The fights were insane. The final battle was bonkers.
Kingpin just smashing people left and right.
Yeah, that was just incredible. I was like, "Oh, okay. We're going full steer Kingpin." I was very pleased with that. Once they killed off his wife, and it was just like, "Okay, that's how they're gonna make him go
Yeah,
full just
the gloves
insane."
off. Yeah.
Yeah, Jessica Jones is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Having her back in the show and having her back on TV is great.
Yep. And they've obviously showed everything that she has a daughter named Danielle, and if you read the comics, we kind of already knew, oh, that's Luke Cage's daughter. And then, of course, spoilers again on that finale, at one of the final scenes, Luke shows up and the little girl's like, "Daddy." So, 100% that is Jessica and Luke's daughter. And someone did put an interesting little tidbit out there that in one version, one Marvel future version, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage's daughter becomes a very futuristic Captain America at some point.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an interesting tidbit to know. Yeah, I loved it. All the fights were crazy. On the previous episode, I felt kind of bad for Daniel. I wondered if were they going to kill him, were they not going to kill him?
Oh,
And I actually read that they filmed two versions of that scene, a version where they do and a version where they don't, but they went with the one where they do kill him.
yeah, I didn't feel so bad.
Right?
No, I did. At the end, I was like, "Oh, he redeemed himself," 'cause sorta.
Yeah, and that's what made me feel bad. Like, oh man, he did do the right thing there at the end.
Uh,
The comment he gave to Buck, I wonder if before this series runs its course, will we see Buck get killed? Because the comment Daniel made to him, what are you going to do at some point when you're on the other end of that gun?
yeah. Did he
You know,
not die at the end? I don't
he got
remember.
shot in the gut, but I don't think they showed him dead.
Oh, okay.
My one hangup of the whole thing was obviously we're gonna have to deal with the world knows that Matt Murdock is Daredevil, which when they were like laughing at him, oh yeah, the blind lawyer, and he throws his stick and it bounces off the walls and he
Yeah,
grabs
it's
it.
the coolest thing.
That was so cool.
I was like I literally went, "Ooh."
Very impressive. I loved it. But my one hangup at the end of the movie, it's like freaking Kingpin. I guess he's a millionaire politician, all these things. He gets a deal and he gets to walk free. And Matt, just because he's a vigilante, he's going to spend time in prison now. Kingpin freaking literally murdered people in front of people. He got a deal and gets to walk free. Matt, the
Yeah.
blind lawyer who saved people, did vigilante stuff and has to go to prison. That was my one hang up. Why didn't he get a deal too? But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I doubt that they'll keep him in prison for long in the next season.
So it's funny. What I read this past weekend was Daredevil Born Again season 3. So there's going to be a 1 year time jump from where it left off to where we catch back up. And it's going to adapt the comic book storyline called Devil in Cell Block D, where he actually does spend a little time in prison and he's got to deal with being the hero that's stuck in prison with all the people he put in prison. And this is what's going to cause the defenders to reassemble because they got to pick up the slack while he's in prison. So we're going to see Luke and Jessica and even Danny Rand come back to kind of pick up
Okay.
that slack for a little bit. And then I'm sure at some point, maybe halfway through, maybe even earlier, he'll get out. But that's kind of what brings that group back together, it sounds like.
Okay.
But yeah, so good. I'm sad it's over for now.
Well, we have the Punisher special.
Yeah, that's right. So speaking of that special, we're recording this on a Monday. For us, this comes out tomorrow. I cannot wait to watch it.
Yeah, I want
So
to
that
know what happened with him.
Yeah, so The Punisher: One Last Kill comes out on May 12th. So you listeners, you can go watch it already if you haven't yet. And from what I read, it's gonna take place almost immediately after the last time we saw him earlier in Daredevil. So that'll be good to see what's been going on with him. And also, the article I read said there will be a little bit of flashing back to see some of the stuff that we've kind of maybe been wondering between the Netflix series and the new Disney stuff. And then, of course, the present day stuff will be taking place too. And this is also the thing that kind of bridges all of this stuff to the new Spider Man movie, which comes out next month. So, yeah, good times.
Yeah, I'm excited.
The final thing with Daredevil, if you remember that whole Matthew Lillard's character, his group was the ones making Luke Cage have to be far away. Well, at the end, Luke confirmed he's done with them and he's back home. And that final scene makes it look like Bullseye is his replacement. So Bullseye's now gone working with this crazy government agency. And anyway, all that to say is someone posted an image and an article that in season 3, he's going to have his own kind of side storyline happening and he's going to have a cool new suit as well.
Bullseye.
Yeah, Bullseye.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, elsewhere out there in the pop culture universe, there's a lot going on. They made an announcement that season 2 of this King of the Hill revival series will come out on July 20th on Hulu, so that's good. The first season of this new reboot series was so funny. I can't wait to see more. Oh, for fans of that movie Prey, which is a prequel to the Predator movies,
Oh yeah.
Prey 2 is in the works with the same guy, Dan Trachtenberg, coming back to direct it. So I liked that movie, so I'm
Yeah,
excited
that
for
was
that.
good. Yeah, that was really good.
Do you remember the movie with Tom Cruise called Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah,
And that's
I like that movie.
the time travel-y one and all that stuff happening. Well, they just kind of announced that Edge of Tomorrow 2 is in the works at Warner Brothers. So that'll be kind of cool.
I think it was made to have 3 movies, if I remember.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched or even thought about that movie in a while. I might have to revisit it because, as we all know, I'm a sucker for time travel.
I have it.
Yeah, me too, somewhere. Okay, Mortal Kombat 2 just came out this past weekend, and the reviews are hailing it as the best action movie of the year so far.
Oh
And everyone's
wow.
calling it epic. And I want to go back and watch the first one from, I guess, at this point, 5 years ago, and then watch this new one. It really does look fun.
Yeah, I hear you don't have to watch the first one really
Yeah.
to go into the second one, but I remember enough of the first one.
Yep.
I want to go see it.
Oh, yeah, it looks so good.
I want to see Street Fighter more.
Yeah, Street Fighter looks kind of bonkers in a good way.
Yeah, it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy level crazy.
Yes.
It has that feel to me, that Guardians Ragnarok kind of feel to it.
Yeah, and I'm really wanting to see Blanca in action.
Yeah, because it's Momoa.
Yeah, I know.
I'm excited to see the wrestlers.
Oh, yeah, lots of wrestlers.
I do love me a good wrestling match.
So we know that Toy Story 5 is coming later this summer,
Yeah.
and I'm actually kind of excited about it. The topic has me as a public school teacher who deals with electronic devices all the time. It makes me kind of happy they're tackling this topic. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Pixar just announced that a Toy Story 6 and 7 are both definitely happening. So, man,
Jeez.
that franchise is going to go on and on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. At a certain point, maybe, I don't know, use different characters or I don't know. It just,
Yeah.
to me, it don't see it. I don't know. Maybe it will be that good, but I just don't see the quality keeping up.
I'm interested to see if you remember from the fourth one, Woody is now a free toy or whatever they call themselves. So
Yeah.
what do they do to keep up with each other? That's what I'm wanting to see.
Yeah. I just like the bald spot joke that I keep
Oh,
saying.
yeah. So funny. Well, let's see. A new Planet of the Apes movie is in the works. I've really enjoyed these modern Planet of the Apes movies.
Yeah.
My family did a marathon of all of them when the recent one came out a year or so ago. And then we watched the new one. So that was kind of fun. I'm glad they're keeping it going. We've both been watching The Boys, and I think we're on different episodes, you and I, so we won't necessarily spoil them or talk about them. But this week is the penultimate episode, and then next week is the finale, the series finale. And one cool thing is for folks who like to go watch things at the movie theater, the finale episode comes out May 20th, but you can go watch for, at the price of a ticket a day early, go watch it on the big screen at theaters near you. So that is going to be good. And I'm bummed out you haven't seen this most recent episode yet because some crazy stuff goes down. So now I'm trying to figure out how the heck they're going to end this thing.
Yeah, I'm already there where I'm like, "Oh, how are you going to end this?" So we're
Did
both.
you watch the Gen V show?
I watched the first season.
Okay, the first and second season of that show, which that was kind of the whole show of that show. Not to get too spoilery, but the trailer for the second to last episode that you see after you watch the previous episode shows some of those Gen V series characters in the trailer. And so now, after the events of last week's episode that I won't talk about yet, and everyone's wondering, well, what the heck? Seeing certain Gen V characters, I already have a theory about what's going to happen on the finale. And yeah, maybe next week we'll talk about it.
All right.
For fans of It, Welcome to Derry, season 2 has been confirmed, and it's going to go backwards in time a little bit further. I think it said around the 30s this time. But anyway, they just made an announcement that some of the writers they're pulling in for season 2 are people who have written for Stranger Things, The Penguin, and the series called Dark. And all three of those amazing shows. So I'm excited to see some folks from good shows coming in because man, that season 1 was so good. And I'm not a big horror guy, but I've really enjoyed those It movies and then Welcome to Derry season 1.
Yeah.
So good. And again, speaking of horror stuff, again, I'm not that big of a horror guy, but the prequel series to Friday the 13th, and the series is just called Crystal Lake. Us recording right now, the trailer for that series came out today. So for folks who want to see what that looks like, you can get online and go see what that's all about.
Yeah.
But hey, that is all of the news for this week. There's lots of stuff to watch right now. Go catch up on all the shows. There's some cool stuff to read. I know last weekend was free comic book day and had some good books that I'm, excited to jump into. I haven't had a chance yet, but man, go find something to watch, something to read, something to play. But hey, as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And come back next week, guys. Same Taylor channel, same Taylor time.
Bye.
Bye.